All right. So welcome to our 14th virtual orientation session, Road to the Hill. Tonight's session is entitled Welcome Before the Weekend. For those of you who might not be aware, Welcome Weekend is what we call our on-campus orientation weekend when you arrive in August. So today is the big welcome before you arrive to campus in a little under 3 weeks. My name is Matthew Zielinski. I serve as the Director of New Student and Transition Programs here at Seton Hill University. Before I start today, I want to make sure again we're all familiar with the technical pieces. You'll be muted for today's session, so you don't have to worry about that. But we can see you, and so we'd love for you to share your camera, and we'll take a photo at the end of the session. If you have a question at any point in time for myself or a presenter, you can send that through the chat directly to me. If I have the ability to ask that to the presenter before we hand it off to the next presenter, I will do that. Otherwise, we'll hold the questions for the end of the session. And then after the session at about 7:30, if you weren't able to get all of your questions answered, many of our presenters will be in individual Zoom rooms for 30 minutes after our presentations. So those of you who RSVP'd for tonight's event, I emailed you the links to those Q&A rooms, but also at the end of our session, I'll send it to you through the chat. So with that, I would like to introduce to you the president of Seton Hill University, Dr. Mary Finger, who has a welcome for us today. Still unmute. You can unmute. There you go.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. I'm Mary Finger. I'm president of Seton Hill, and I'm thrilled to be able to welcome you virtually to the university this evening. We're thrilled that you're going to be with us in person in just a few weeks. And I just want to, on behalf of all of the faculty and staff here at the institution, say that we are just so happy that you've chosen Seton Hill, and it's our job to make sure that your time here is successful and that you are able to fulfill all the dreams that you bring with to that you bring to the institution, and those that will occur along your time here as a student. So we're really happy to have you. We're really glad that you're here. We are, this is a really special place. I'm beginning my 7th year as president here at Seton Hill, and one of the most important things I've learned is that the community that we share is really a wonderful community, and it's a community based on the values and the legacy of the Sisters of Charity of Seton Hill, who are the founders of this institution, and it really permeates all that we do. And I hope that you all get the opportunity to truly experience that community. I'm sure that you will. And we want your parents and your friends and all of your supporters to know that it is our job to make sure that you are very much a part of this community. So right now I'm going to turn it over to Sister Maureen O'Brien, who is our Vice President for Mission and Identity. Sister Maureen.
Thank you, Dr. Finger. I offer this prayer for each one of you on behalf of all of the Sisters of Charity, whom Dr. Finger stated are the founders of Seton Hill. They are praying for you. You'll get to meet many of the sisters once you're on campus. And so in their name, we pray that each one of you will find a home at Seton Hill and know that you are welcomed. As you walk into your new home, may your feet be steady, sure, confident, and at peace. May you find new friends and mentors who will remind you that you are not alone. On difficult days, we pray that God will give you confidence, clarity, contentment, and a light heart. Patience to believe in yourself in the midst of doubt and confusion. Not rush to judgment of yourself or others, but remain patient and curious. May you find strength in weakness and sometimes in failure. If you're struggling to let go, replace your fear with courage and your confusion with peace. In the words of St. Elizabeth Seton, the front door, the back door, the side door that leads to the chapel, all the windows upstairs and downstairs open at your coming. Welcome, Setonians. May the God of love, your family and friends at home, and your new family and friends at Seton Hill enfold you as you begin this marvelous journey. Amen. Some of you may have already read our mission statement. I'd like to begin by quoting just one sentence. It reads, "In the tradition of Elizabeth Ann Seton, we educate students to think and act critically, creatively, and ethically as productive members of society, committed to transforming the world." Committed to transforming the world. That's really a pretty big order. Each one of us is called by God to transform the world in our own way. I've tried to transform the world as an educator. Many of our alums are doing that in some field of medicine. However, in order to accomplish that transformation, we need tools. At Seton Hill, the tools that we use in the process of transformation, we identify as our 4 pillars. The first pillar is the pillar of welcoming. You will find at Seton Hill that we are a community that welcomes all people. You probably experienced that spirit of welcome when you visited Seton Hill for the first time. It may be the reason that you chose to come to Seton Hill, because you felt welcome. The pillar of learning is a huge part of transforming the world. You have chosen a top-notch school where faculty are committed to your transformation. The pillar of service will give you the opportunity to experience, to reflect upon, and to act from a commitment to justice, mercy, and compassion. And finally, the pillar of celebration helps each student to develop a spiritual life in their faith tradition in both formal celebrations and informal celebrations. The Office of Mission and Identity consists of 4 of us. Our university chaplain, Father Roger Statnick, serves students of every faith tradition. Marissa Haynes is the Director of Service Experience, and Marissa will help you to find and engage in service opportunities that will broaden your experience of the world and of the local community. Tony Krismarczyk is our new Director of Campus Ministry, and he's so eager to meet each one of you. If you tuned in to Mission Monday, you had a chance to meet them and to speak with them, but we'll be doing that again when you come for Welcome Weekend. Each one of us looks forward to being with you, to sharing this wonderful mission, which is Seton Hill, with each one. Enjoy your last few weeks of vacation, and we look forward to your coming.
Thank you, Sister Maureen. I want to make sure that everyone knows, as you saw in the previous slide, Sister Maureen's previous session from the 20th is on our YouTube channel, so you can learn more about campus ministry, service outreach, and mission and identity there. I'd like to take this moment to thank President Finger for her welcome and Sister Maureen for her opening prayer.
Have a good night. Thank you for involving us.
Thanks, Matt.
Next, I'd like to introduce Tony Krantz for Technology on the Hill.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tony Krantz, the Information Security Officer representing the Technology Department at Seton Hill. Our department supports enterprise applications and integrations, network and infrastructure, staff, and most importantly, our students. So I'm here to talk to you about some of the things you may want to know about technology on the Hill. First, let's talk about the MacBook. Everyone will be receiving, probably already has received, their 13-inch MacBook Air. It has 8 gig of memory, 512 gig hard drive, and upon graduation, ownership will be transferred to the student. So how do you get that MacBook? Hopefully, most of you have already done this. Actually, I know most of you have already done this. You received a text asking you to verify your address. And once you verified your address, a MacBook was assigned to you. You signed off on your contract by logging into my.setonhill.edu, which we call MyShoe. And then the MacBook was shipped out to you. One of the last things that you need to do in this process is to verify your asset ID. On the back of your MacBook is a 5-digit code. And if you log into MyShoe again, that's my.setonhill.edu, you'll have that asset ID. When you log in there, put the ID in just to verify that the asset you received is the asset that was assigned to you. If you haven't been able to verify your address and start that process, we'll make arrangements to get your MacBook to you whenever you arrive on campus. They're telling me that they can still take a few more, so if you haven't done it, do that as soon as possible. They're still trying to ship through the end of the week. So just log into my.setonhill.edu to verify your address. Another question we've had are iPads. No student will receive an iPad this year. With the MacBook, you also get a warranty, an accidental damage plan. Anything that happens to that thing, as you can see the picture here, spill coffee on it, it cracks, you can bring it to our solution center, and for a $250 deductible, they'll replace that for you. You'll get a loaner in the meantime, and they'll ship that off to an Apple repair store. It'll come back and you'll get everything just the way it was. Printing. Every student gets a $25 print credit to their account every semester. Black and white prints are 5 cents. Color prints are 25 cents. So you're getting around 500 black and white copies or prints every semester. If you do want to bring your own printer, bring something that you can connect locally via USB. Wireless printers do not work. And then network devices that do work. So as you're out there, have your smart TV, your smart speakers, your Xboxes, your PlayStations, Rokus and Alexas. If you want those on our network, we need to register them via their MAC address. So look up the MAC address and you can send that to support@setonhill.edu. We'll have that device ready for you, and when you plug it in or connect it to the network, it will be ready to go. And so you can do that when you get on campus, but if you do it before, everything will be ready. Some of the services that we have, we are a G Suite for Education School. That means you'll be getting a Gmail account. That's your Seton Hill email address where all communications are happening. You have Google Drive with unlimited space and the Google Doc Suite. We also give you Microsoft Office. You get the Microsoft Office Suite, 5 Office Suite licenses that you can download at office.com and log in with your Seton Hill email address and password. Now, the most important part of our services, our Solution Center. These people are here to make sure that everything is working smoothly for you. If you have any problems whatsoever at all, please let us know about them. If we don't know about them, we can't fix them. But if we do, we'll make sure we get them fixed for you as soon as possible. Our Solution Center is located in the Reeves Library. You can email them at support@setonhill.edu. The number 724-830-1805. And the office hours are 8 to 8. We're also offering Zoom hours now from 10 to 2 to have that contactless experience to make sure that you can get your problems fixed. We can jump right on your machine and help you out. And all of these resources are available at help.setonhill.edu. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Tony. And as a reminder to everyone, if you have any questions at any time for any of our presenters, you can send them through the chat to me. I'll ask them to the presenter if I can at the time. Otherwise, we will have those questions at the end. Next, I would like to introduce Holly Pasapanki for billing and financial aid.
Thanks, Matt. As Matt said, my name is Holly Pasapanki. I'm the Director of Student Accounts in the Office of Financial Services and the Registrar. Our office covers a multitude of things, everything from registration, adding and dropping classes, to packaging financial aid, reviewing options for funding, as well as the billing side, which is, billing, refunds, and things like that. So I wanted to go over a few things that I think are really helpful for new students and parents of new students coming in. Tony talked about MyShoe, and through MyShoe you can log into the Student Account Center, and that's where we try to keep all of your information for you so that it's all in one place. So when you log into the Student Account Center through MyShoe, you can view statements, you can look at your account information, all of that's available to you. All of our bills are sent via electronic notifications. So you'll receive a notification to your setonhill.edu email address, letting you know that your bill is out there for you to view. And then you just log into the Student Account Center to see that. Through the Student Account Center, you can also sign up for a payment plan. So our payment plans are available through Nelnet, which is a third party. And the nice thing about them is they're interest-free, and that gives you a little bit longer to pay on an out-of-pocket balance if you have one, without having to make that whole payment by the due date. And then through the Student Account Center, you can also allow other people to view your account information or receive statements. So because, as students come to us, the federal government considers them adults. So they have to give us documented permission to speak to anybody or to release their information about their accounts. An easy way to give access to somebody else is to log into the Student Account Center. You just click on the Manage Account Access button, and you can enter anybody you need. So if if your mom is paying the bill or dad's paying the bill, and they're going to need to see that information or set up a payment plan, that's all you need to do. It's a really quick, easy process. So right next to the Student Account Center in MyShoe is the Financial Aid Center. So if you log into the Financial Aid Center, you're going to see all of your financial aid award, any missing documents that are still needed for financial aid, and you can accept your award there as well. So you can do all that electronically. Aid sometimes is missing off a student's bill. So one of the questions we get a lot is, why is my aid missing, or when will my aid show up on my bill? So the first thing you want to do if your aid is missing is to log into the Financial Aid Center, because you can see there whether your aid still needs to be accepted or whether there's something that we're still missing to be able to package your aid for you. And then financial aid can also help you if you need to apply for additional funding. So they can go through some funding options for you or with you in terms of like Parent Plus loans or alternative loans, and they can assist you with applying for those as well. Now we did mail, as I said, our statements go out electronically, but we did want to get that information in front of our new students. So we sent out a packet of information just last week that includes a bill, an award letter, and any missing documents that you have for financial aid. And this is just so that you have that for reference and for this first time. Now, after that, you'll just want to log into the Student Account Center to view your bill. We're always available to help. Our office hours are 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, or Monday through Thursday, and 8 to 4 on Friday. During the regular school year, And we love to hear from our students. We love to meet with students. Our contact information is here, but you can also find it on the Seton Hill website. So if you ever need to speak with one of us, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to hear from you. We're looking forward to hopefully meeting all of you. So thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Next, I'll turn it over to Corey Campbell for a conversation about residence life.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'll be covering a little bit about moving into and living on campus here. So right now, as you're preparing to come to Seton Hill, most of you should have already gotten your assignments at the very beginning of July. Those are available. We've talked a lot about My Shoe. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a little series of boxes. If you click on those, you can go to Residence. And on your Residence homepage, it will list your room number as well as your roommate. It's a great time to reach out to your roommate, get to know them a little bit, start connecting about what each one of you wants to bring, and what you're going to do for your year together. Start following all the Seton Hill accounts on social media. There's been lots of changes and updates and announcements, and one of the best ways to stay up to date and to make sure that you know what's going on is to follow not only Seton Hill account, follow Student Life, which is our student life account on Instagram. We've been posting things to our Residence Life account. So just follow along with all those. It's a great way to stay up to date and meet some other people. And also you can be logging on to our bookstore website right now. If you have your class schedule, you can go through each of those classes, find out what books you're going to need, and start ordering those. Our bookstore, you can buy, you can rent, and you can have those ready for pickup. So whenever you get to campus, just go over to the bookstore and grab a bag and you're all ready to go. As you're getting ready to pack, you're going to want to bring things like a mask and a thermometer. Those are going to be specific to this semester, but are going to be important. In fact, you might want to bring several masks to make sure that you have a rotation and that you can wash them and always keep a clean one. You're going to want to bring some twin extra long bedding. All of our mattresses are extra long. If you're at home and you think it's probably not that much of a difference, the regular twin sheets will stretch. They never quite stretch enough. They're not going to get there. But at any local store, if they have a back to school section, you know, Walmart, Target, TJ Maxx, any of those places, these twin XL sheets are really, really easy to find in July and August. So you shouldn't have any trouble. A surge protector. We have some number of duplex outlets in all of our rooms, but as you start bringing your MacBook chargers and phone chargers and everything else that you want to plug in, it's going to be important to be able to turn each of those plugs into a few more. Some sticky tack to hang up your pictures and anything you want to help decorate your room. A window fan. Typically, the weather will get pretty mild after the first couple weeks of school, but especially with us coming back a little earlier, this first 1 to 2 weeks in August might still be pretty warm. We've got really large windows that will move a lot of air if you just have a fan to get a little bit of a breeze moving. And the last bonus thing, a nice little folding step stool. You'll notice a lot of our rooms have storage space above the closets, and those spaces are enormous. You can store a lot, your out of season clothes or whatever you need, but the spaces are 6.5 feet in the air. They're very tall and very deep, and a lot of students will have trouble accessing those. What not to bring. You can have a refrigerator in your room. We ask that you do not bring one larger than 2.7 cubic feet. 2.7 cubic feet is kind of the standard fridge that you'll see in the back to school sections. It's more than enough room, even for 2 students to share. Most students realistically have a couple waters, some Gatorades, maybe a few applesauce. They're not going out and getting groceries for a full family. So a nice small unit gives them more space in the room and provides plenty of storage. You're going to want to make sure that you don't bring candles, diffusers, incense burners. Anything that burns is going to be prohibited. Similarly, heaters and other fire hazards. And I'll actually jump down to those electrical appliances. that also is going to extend to toasters, toaster ovens. And if you're in Brownlee or Havey Hall or Mara Hall, that also includes don't bring microwaves, Keurig machines, or anything like that. Those are all provided in the common space on the center of each floor. They just take up a little bit too much power consumption for everyone to be using them in all the rooms along the hall. And lastly, we're going to want to make sure that we don't have any weapons, even things like BB guns, pellet guns, large knives, swords, anything that might be seen and interpreted as a weapon from far away. You're going to need to leave at home. Those won't be allowed on campus. And as you're getting ready to come up to the Hill, you should have your move-in dates and times. I just shared those on Monday. If your student thinks they haven't gotten them yet, I actually even have read receipts so I can see if they've opened their email yet. If they haven't gotten it, make sure we check that Seton Hill email account. Additional move-in information can be found at our public website, which is setonhill.edu/student-life/housing and dining/moving into the halls. We're trying to keep that updated as we have some small changes so that you can always have your up-to-date information there. It's important to know students are going to be limited to only 2 guests who can enter the building with them when they arrive this year. This is to help create a safer atmosphere and environment for them to move in. So if your whole family wants to come up and it's really important to celebrate sending them off to college, you can do that. People can stay in the car, can sit on the lawn, but we're only going to allow 2 guests to enter the building to help with that move-in experience. Also, we've done a lot of work where we're trying to space people out. We've expanded our move-in to 3 days of new student move-in and 3 days of returning student move-in. That is to minimize the number of people that are using hallways and doorways at any given time. In order to achieve that, we had to assign everyone a fairly specific move-in window. And we do ask that you do all that you can to try to complete your move in that 1-hour window, as that really opens the space back up for the people in the next time slot. If you have any real serious conflicts, please email me and we'll see what we can do to work something else out. And then don't forget that Welcome Weekend will be Friday, August 14th, and then the Saturday the 15th and Sunday the 16th. Matt Zielinski, our host here tonight, is working very hard to put those together for you. But make sure that you're not scheduling yourself to work that weekend or have other commitments, because we have lots to bring you up to speed on as a Seton Hill student. And when you actually get to campus this year, we have lots of important things for you to do. But one of those primarily, plan to wear your mask in all public spaces. While you're walking around campus, while you're visiting friends, you won't need to have the mask on while you're eating or while you're in your own room. But otherwise, you're going to need to wear those on campus. Although the mask doesn't mean that you can't enjoy some things. We still want you to join clubs and organizations and honor societies. We want you to experience Seton Hill's rich history and participate in traditions. Like Sister Maureen said, we have so many traditions. We have so much service. These are still things that you can engage in and get rich experiences from. This is a time to meet new people, see new perspectives on life, meet lifelong friends. Although we will require smaller groups, you can still meet with your friends. You can still use the dining hall. There's still lots you can do to make sure that this is a positive college experience. And while you're at college, I feel like we should just mention there's going to be some expectations to go to class, to study, to find internships, and those things that you're going to need to be academically successful. And get to know Greensburg, get to know Westmoreland County. We have a nice little community around us, and we'd love for you to be a part of that. Other virtual orientation sessions. This is one of the last ones. So you can find previous recordings of all those sessions on our Seton Hill Student Affairs YouTube channel, especially if you had questions about housing or residence life. I'll highlight we did a Life on the Hill section on July 8th. That recording is available, and it has all kinds of information, not only about Seton Hill, but about Greensburg, the surrounding county, transportation, those types of issues. And we have about an hour-long virtual residence hall tour from July 14th. That was a lot of fun. We had people running around campus on their cell phones showing you all kinds of spaces. So if you want to see some of the rooms or see better looks at them, definitely tune in for that virtual residence hall tour that's available on the YouTube page. And Kelly, I think that's my last one.
Yep. And so Corey, we do have a few questions that have already come in for you. So can you talk about the specific furniture that's in the rooms in regards to beds, desks, chairs?
I can. Those vary a little bit from building. And I can actually tell you, as I just pitched those videos, one of the best ways to do it in those virtual tours, we'll go building by building and describe every piece of furniture, what's there. Very quickly, for most of our first year halls, you're going to have a twin XL mattress that comes on an adjustable bed frame. Those raise up to 30 inches, a desk chair, some sort of closet, and a dresser, whether freestanding or built in. But if you want to see specifics or how that might get set up in a room, I'd definitely direct you to those videos.
Good pitch there to our recordings. And one other question about window air conditioners.
Yes, if you need a window air conditioner, those are only permissible as an ADA accommodation. So if you have documentation from your doctor that you need one of those for a medical condition, you can share that with disability services at setonhill.edu. They'll review your documentation and then make a referral for an accommodation that's appropriate. If that accommodation includes an air conditioner, you will provide your own. In Brownlee and Havey Hall, those big windows will easily accommodate any window unit. And you just bring that with you on move-in day and our maintenance team will install it. In Mara Hall, it has very narrow windows that will only fit expensive special units. So in that hall, we recommend a freestanding floor unit that just runs the exhaust hose. Again, bring it with you on move-in day and our maintenance team will install that for you.
Thank you, Corey. And I'll, in the text, in the chat feature, send out the link that Corey had previously mentioned in one of his slides. And with that, I will turn it over to Adriel Hilton to talk about commuter and campus life. Thank you, Corey.
Good evening. I'm Adriel Hilton, Dean of Students and Diversity Officer here at Seton Hill University. We're so excited to have each of you coming in this fall. So for those that did not make the Commuter Social, it was held on Wednesday evening, July 15, 2020. We had 2 Commuter students that are juniors speak about their lived experience from commuting from their homes to campus. So as commuters are those that reside off campus. They do not live in a residential hall on campus. They commute to campus. So first, we would love for each of you to please register for the University Campus Alert message system. Students can self-register through Seton Hill's intranet through MyShoe. Lockers are also available for each student that's a commuter if they desire. They're located on the first floor of Mara Hall and the Commuter Lounge. Please sign up in Mara Hall, room 223. Commuters are encouraged to also receive a mailbox from the university. So mailbox assignment requests can be made also in Mara Hall, room 223. So you'll hear about dining options, but commuters are welcome to dine in low dining hall, or you can receive your to-go meals from the Griffin's Cove. Cash is accepted, or you can purchase a meal plan, which you'll hear about later this evening. Commuters are encouraged to participate in student government. As Corey noted, there are roughly 60 to 70 student clubs and organizations here at the university. So we encourage you to participate, get actively engaged and involved. We want you to enjoy your collegiate experience here at the university. And those are just commuter facts, and I'll ask Matt to put those in the chat for you all. So you all, if you have any questions tied to commuting to campus, we're present to assist you. We look forward to having each of you this fall and working with each of you, and pray that your safe transition to campus.
Thank you, Adriel. I will put that link in the chat here in a moment. And in the meantime, I will turn it over to Connie Beckel, our registrar.
Hi, good evening, and welcome to Seton Hill University. I'm Connie Beckel. I'm the registrar at Seton Hill University. I have been asked to explain to you the process of class registration and advising for our freshman students. So based on your reported major is what starts the foundation of your class schedule. We outline the freshman required major courses to start the schedule. So for instance, if you're a business administration major, first classes that we're going to place you in is Principles of Accounting, Principles of Management, Microeconomics. Or let's say if you're a biology major, we're going to start you in General Chemistry, General Bio, and perhaps Calc 1. So that starts your foundation. Then if there's still room in the schedule, we begin to add liberal arts curriculum classes. And the liberal arts curriculum are the courses that all undergraduate degree-seeking students must complete for their degree. So if you've reviewed your schedule, you may see that you are in a philosophy course, or perhaps you're starting your modern language requirement, science, math. Those are all liberal arts courses that make the components of our liberal arts curriculum. Then if there's still room in your class schedule, we will place you in elective classes. Each major requires a different number of electives. However, electives do assist students in reaching the required 120 credits needed to earn their degree. So our goal is to be sure that each freshman is enrolled in 15 credits for the fall semester. Going forward, you will work with your advisor to achieve this credit load in future semesters. Keeping it 15 credits each semester for a total of 8 semesters will assist you in achieving your graduation goal of 120 credits. After we completed building the schedules, an email notification went out to each of your advisors. At that time, the advisor was to contact the student either by email or by phone. Each freshman should have been contacted by their advisor for an advising meeting by this point in time. And if you have not, please send me an email and we'll find out what the holdup is. But you should have been contacted by now, and each of you should have seen your class schedule. If perhaps you haven't been contacted by your advisor, perhaps you're not checking your Seton email account. So that is our preferred method of communication with students. So make it routine to check your Seton Hill email account, if not daily, but weekly. Keep checking it. At the advising meeting, the advisor is going to review the schedule with you and make any adjustments that are needed. And some of you may have already went through this process. Adjustments that are recommended to the class schedule must come from the advisor directly to the registrar staff. So we're there to assist the advisor and you if changes are need be. We're starting to receive AP scores. And also if you receive college credit, transcripts are being evaluated for the award of transfer credit. If either one, AP scores or college credit transcripts, if either of these impact your class schedule, we will notify you and your advisor so you may discuss any changes that may be needed. Just as a reminder, if you took any college and high school classes or in college credit, make sure that you have the transcript from the sponsoring college or university sent to Seton Hill so we can award you the appropriate transfer credit. Once you're on campus in August, please stop to see us in the Financial Services and Registrar's office if you need assistance. Our office is located on the first floor of the administration building in room 104. Be well and have a wonderful evening.
Connie, I have one question for you. We have an eager student who would like to know about the process for requesting and going about finding a minor.
Oh, that's an excellent question. So the student can start with me if they would like. If they have an idea of what minor they want to declare, they can just email that to me. If they're not sure, then I would suggest that student reach out to their advisor and start the discussion you know, what are the students' goals after graduation?
Perfect. Thank you very much. And now I will turn it over to Linda Sokolsky to talk about academic enrichment.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Matt. There is a thunderstorm going through where I live. So if by chance you hear some thunder, we're going to call that a dramatic sound effect. I'm pleased to share with you tonight the academic enrichment centers and support programs that are in place to assist students in reaching their academic goals. And first up, I'll talk about the Academic Achievement Center. So this center offers a variety of services, including study strategy assistance, such as getting organized and test taking. We offer academic counseling to strengthen academic habits and behaviors, and we have a peer tutoring program. Study strategy assistance and academic counseling are done primarily through one-to-one meetings, and we also have campus workshops that can address study skills topics. Those are open to all Seton Hill students. The peer tutoring program, it's a great resource and an excellent way to master a course material. The program employs approximately 35 to 40 tutors each semester and supports about 50 courses each semester. The peer tutors are recommended by faculty, and all tutoring is course specific. Meaning, if a student is taking Accounting 1 or Chemistry 1, the tutor has taken that exact course and is able to tutor on the specific course content. Tutoring is free, and students can work with a tutor as often as they would like. We have drop-in tutoring, and we have by appointment tutoring as well. All of the services I mentioned can be found on the Academic Achievement Center website, which can be accessed through My Shoe. The tutoring schedule is on the website, and it will list the drop-in tutoring times and also how to contact tutors if you want to set up an appointment. The website also contains an on-demand success video library where students can access quick videos targeting key success strategies. The next center is the Mathematics Enrichment Center. So the Mathematics Enrichment Center, or MEC for short, provides academic support and enrichment opportunities for students enrolled in mathematics and related coursework. Students are strongly encouraged to take advantage of the undergraduate peer tutoring program offered through the MEC. Both drop-in sessions and one-to-one appointments are offered. Students can receive assistance with problem solving, understanding concepts, and test preparation. During the 2019-2020 calendar year, the MEC had over 450 tutoring visits and supported 13 unique courses. In addition to peer tutoring, the MEC offers review sessions before exams, supplemental workshops, and access to learning software. The MEC can also help education students prepare for the Praxis Core Certification exam. These opportunities will be advertised on the MEC website, through email, Canvas, and direct communication with faculty to be shared with their students. The MEC also offers enrichment opportunities throughout the year, mock job interviews, and Integration B, math intervention for elementary school students, and teaching workshops for education students are examples of enrichment activities that students can join. Programs and services evolve through the semester, so students should check out the MEC website often. Go to My Shoe, Campus Services, Mathematics Enrichment Center. The next center is the Writing Center. Writing is an important skill for success in college and in careers. In conjunction with the writing requirements in Seton Hill's curriculum, the Writing Center assists students with developing their writing. The center works with all writers from first year to graduate students. For those beginning college, the Writing Center helps with the transition from high school to college level writing, which can pose new challenges. Students come to the Writing Center at any stage of their writing process, from coming up with ideas to revising drafts. As students are introduced to the writing related to their particular career fields, the Writing Center staff members can aid with assignments and writing styles specific to different disciplines. This support is provided primarily through one-on-one sessions with trained student writing consultants. During these sessions, which can occur online or face-to-face, the consultants don't fix the papers for them, but instead work with students, giving feedback and providing strategies they can use to improve their own writing skills. The Writing Center staff also presents workshops, both in classes and on campus. Students can find more resources about writing on the Writing Center website, accessed from the main My Shoe page. These services promote the Writing Center's ultimate goal, to encourage all students in becoming stronger, more confident writers so they can communicate effectively. Next, I would like to share our 3 academic enrichment support programs, which provide additional support to qualifying students. We have a TRIO Student Support Services grant. It's a federally funded program that provides academic and personal support services to 170 qualifying students. Specific support services include writing and study strategy assistance, financial literacy, and graduate school assistance. Additional benefits, such as a textbook lending library, are available to qualifying students. Undergraduate students are able to submit an application for consideration to be a participant in this program. The Opportunity Program is a year-long academic and personal support program that assists students in transitioning to the college environment. Admittance to this program is through the admissions committee. Opportunity Program participants enroll in a week-long course prior to the beginning of the fall semester and receive ongoing support, including a peer mentor, writing assistance, and academic success courses throughout their first year of college. C.A.P.S, which stands for Collegiate, Academic, and Personal Success, is an enrollment category designated by the admissions committee. C.A.P.S students receive an additional layer of academic support, including an academic coach and a 1-credit academic success course. During the Q&A session at the end of the presentations, Opportunity and C.A.P.S students and parents are encouraged to join the TRIO, Opportunity, and C.A.P.S breakout room to ask questions and gain more information. The Academic Achievement, Mathematics, and Writing Center staff will be available to answer questions as well in a second breakout room. And we look forward to speaking with you at this time and certainly encourage you to join us for Acing Your Academics on July 29th. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda, for that pitch for next week. And with that, we will turn it over to Keisha Jimerson for Inclusion on the Hill.
Good evening to you all. I'm so excited to be here with you this evening for orientation, and I'm excited that you chose to be part of the Seton Hill community. So Seton Hill University values and celebrates the diversity that makes each individual unique. And the Seton Hill University's commitment is deeply rooted in its Catholic Setonian mission. So let's talk about community. Community and inclusion go hand in hand. As you heard Sister Maureen O'Brien earlier talk about Seton Hill's mission, they are intertwined. We believe in celebrating and welcoming each individual to our community. Our differences are to be celebrated, and everyone is to be welcome. As you can see the slide in front of you, we roughly have 19% students of color, and there's the breakdown for you. So you might hear colleagues and staff and maybe even students say that they're attending a PWI. PWI basically means that Seton Hill is a predominantly white institution. However, there are so many facets to diversity. So when I talk about the facets of diversity, we are humans. We're all a part of the human race, and we're complex beings. So there are many characteristics that make us unique. They make you, you. So for instance, there is cultural diversity, racial diversity, religious diversity. We are diverse in age. We're diverse in sex and gender. We're diverse in our sexual orientation, and also diverse in our ability. At Seton Hill, we want you not only to be welcome, but we want you to be celebrated. We want you to feel that you have a voice. This is an educational institution. So when you think about an educational institution, you are coming to get a different perspective. We want all people's perspectives and lived experiences to be valued and recognized. So it's okay if you feel uncomfortable. You grow from those uncomfortable situations. So in closing, I would like to read this quote to you by Jimmy Carter. We have become not a melting pot, but a beautiful mosaic. Different people, different beliefs, different yearnings, different hopes, and different dreams. And I'm hoping that some of you after our orientation session will join me in our separate breakout room. And I look forward to seeing you all in a few weeks. Be safe and be well. Thank you.
Thank you, Keisha. Oh,
okay.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Look, I got ahead of myself on the slides. Excuse me. So with us all feeling welcomed and having a place at Seton Hill, there are numerous ways that students can feel valued and also get involved. So as many people have said before, we have student clubs and organizations. But specifically for diversity and inclusion, we have Seton Hill's Black Student Union. They're all of the clubs are very active on social media. We have Seton Hill's Multicultural and International Student Organization, and we also have the Pride Coalition. As I said earlier, our mission and diversity and inclusion are intertwined. So some of these might be repeats for you. So Sister Maureen mentioned to us community service and Catholic social teaching. So with your community service, it's good that you have had your experience in your community, but since we also believe at this educational institution in serving others, as you serve others, you also learn from them and they learn from you. So we really suggest that you try to be of service and be involved in community service. Seton Hill is also, which you've probably seen this on our webpage, been recognized for our advocacy and the benefits that military and veterans get here. So you heard from Holly Pazapinski earlier. We have military benefits here, and any one of the staff in Holly's area will be willing to talk you through that process. If you are a veteran or off of active duty and you want to further your college education. Blackburn Center is a community center, and they are committed to stopping and ending domestic violence. So here at Seton Hill University, we have the SAGE program, and we collaborate with the Blackburn Center program, and we have programs all the time to stop and end domestic violence. We have the counseling and disability and health services, but I'm not going to go into depth with that because you will hear from Terry Bassey Cook probably after I finish talking. We also have the National Center for Holocaust Education. The National Center for Holocaust Education at Seton Hill is unique for a Catholic institution. We do not want to forget the past. We want to learn from our history, and we value the survivors from the Holocaust and want to learn from their stories. Seton Hill is also a harassment-free community, and we also have Title IX here because we're an educational institution. So with harassment-free community, that just means, and we hope, none of us on this virtual call hope this doesn't happen, but if anytime you feel your voice has not been heard or you feel like you have been discriminated against, there are people here, everyone at the university, that is willing to hear you, and you can voice your complaints, and we will help you through the process. As Linda Sokolsky said earlier, we have the Collegiate Academic and Personal Success Program and Opportunity Program. So I talk to you about all the different facets of diversity and how we are unique. With that, everyone learns differently. So no matter how you learn, just know that here at Seton Hill University, no matter what your diversity is, we want you to do well. We want you to be successful. So, as I was saying before, see you in a few weeks. Be safe and be well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Keisha. Next, we will turn it over to Terry Bassey-Cook.
Thanks, Matt. So good evening, everybody. It's really nice to be able to meet with you this evening and tell you a little bit about the Counseling, Disability, and Health Services Department. All of these services are physically located on the 5th floor of the administration building. So I'm first going to talk to you about the Counseling Center. We have 3 personal counselors and 1 counselor intern available to meet with the students for the psychological services. Students meet with counselors for various concerns ranging from homesickness to anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation, eating disorders, relational problems, stress management, list goes on and on. So counseling services are available to the students Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. and Fridays from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. We also provide a 24-hour after hours and weekend crisis on-call support for students. So counselors will meet with students by appointment. However, we offer 3 crisis triage times each day where no appointment is necessary. So students schedule an appointment through our online scheduling calendar on days and times that are convenient for them. And this year, because of COVID-19, our counselors will be holding telecounseling sessions with the students and meeting with them virtually. And all of our services are free with no session limits. Our disability services staff support our students with disabilities in and out of the classroom. So students with disabilities who are interested in receiving accommodations at the university should submit documentation of their disability to the Office of Disability Services, and that email is listed on the screen for you. After we receive your documentation, we're going to reach out to you to establish a time to connect with you by phone. We want to talk with you, or maybe we'll meet with you virtually, to discuss your accommodations and how they may be different or the same as the K-12 system. Accommodations are not retroactive, so this is something that you're going to want to do is connect with the ODS as soon as possible. Students must request those accommodations each semester, but we're not going to require documentation each semester for chronic conditions. Students who might sustain an injury during the school year that require temporary supports while they're recovering from their injury can receive supports through the ODS as well. And again, you just want to reach out at that same email address. And our health services. Health services is staffed by a nurse practitioner and a registered nurse. The office is going to function much the same as your PCP office. Students are seen by appointment, which can be scheduled online Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5 and Friday from 8 to 4. Students are going to be triaged by a telehealth appointment, and then they will be advised on self-care. They might be directed to report to Health Services Office for further evaluation or treatment. They may be directed to report to the COVID-19 testing center on campus if they have symptoms consistent with COVID-19. Or they may be referred to a MedExpress, an emergency room, or a local specialist, depending on whatever the concern is. We do point of care testing for strep and mono, collect specimens for urine analysis, cultures, and blood work. And students who are currently receiving allergy shots can receive their shots on campus, but they must be in a maintenance phase of their treatment. Any students who want to receive allergy shots should contact health services to make those arrangements, and we have paperwork that will need to be filled out by your physician that's managing your allergies. All students have received information about our immunization requirements. Students must create a free account with the MedProctor system and complete our health questionnaire online, and then download our immunization form, which we'll take to your PCP and have them complete it. Once the immunization form is completed, that gets uploaded back to the MedProctor system as well. Please do not submit anything to health services directly, because we're not able to upload those into the system for the student. Each student establishes their own individual account and has to upload their own documents. All of the services that I've been talking about are confidential services. The staff will not communicate information to anyone, including a student's parents, without the student's written consent to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Next, we'll turn it over to Darren for talk about dining services.
Well, hello all and welcome. And we are so excited to have you return to campus. And I'm here to explain a little bit about what dining looks like. And in this ever-changing world, dining has changed its face for sure. So many people have questions about meal plans and what those choices are. And you, at this point in time, have either made a choice or not. And there are a variety of them to choose from. I would always say, how far do you live from the university, and be a smart shopper. So you look at those 19, 14s, and 10 meal plans. I say if you're within an hour of the university, get into that 14 meal plan. If you're 15 minutes down the road, get into that 10 meal plan. If you are more than an hour away, buy into the 19. Places to dine on campus. So we have Low Dining Hall, which is the residential hall. We have the Griffin's Cove, which is our grab and go sort of quick shop stop that's over in the basement of Sullivan. We also have the Dance and Visual Arts Cafe that is in the downtown area. And we have a marketplace in the Boyle Center that's actually called The Vibe. Each of those places have respectable hours. You can find those listed at the Seton Hill website. But basically, Low Dining Hall is from 7 to 7. The Cove is from 10 until midnight. And the Dance and Visual Arts is from 7 to 7. And the Vibe is a 24-hour operation. It is, the Vibe is a unique operation. It does not have a cashier at it. And it is cash or credit only over in that location. So meal swipes and flex dollars don't work there. Special dietary concerns when you come to campus. In Low Dining Hall, there are 11 different sort of locations in the server area where you can get something to eat, but sometimes you just can't find what you're looking for. I say, look at any attendant behind the line and ask them for something. We have a very open door policy. So if you can't find something that satisfies your dietary needs for that day, by all means, ask an attendant and they'll get you where those things are. In the changing world that we live in, Low Dining Hall now looks a little bit more like a retail facility. So lots of things are kind of grab and go. They're prepackaged and pre-wrapped for your safety as well as everybody else's. We ask that while you're in those spaces that as you come in to make your selections, that you do don a mask and that you have those things on. When you're in the dining space and you're consuming food as you're seated, by all means take it off. But once you get up to walk across, to maybe get another beverage or walk about the space to leave or exit, please put the mask back on. It helps for your protection and everybody else's as well. So that, in a big summary, is a little bit about dining. And if you have any questions or any further questions, know that we're here to serve, specifically dietary needs. We have lots of people that have lots of allergies, nut tree allergies, gluten-free allergies, shellfish, ginger. It's absolutely amazing what we get in this world and what we can take care of. But we know that we can accommodate you in any form or fashion. So thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Darren. And last but not least, we have Chief Michelle Proctor for Parking and Safety.
Sorry about that, guys. Had a mute problem. Campus Police Department is comprised of professional police officers, and we are responsible for protecting the university, community, and its property, and maintaining professional police presence while providing a safe and peaceful environment. Campus police officers are on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are located at 115 Administrative Annex, which is just off the Greensburg Room. When you guys get to campus, you'll learn where the Greensburg Room is, if you haven't seen it on your tour. If you need to contact Campus Police, like I said, 24 hours a day, you can call. Somebody's going to pick up that phone. We can be reached at either 724-244-2192. And you really do need to put these numbers into your cell phone so that you can get to them quickly. Or 724-830-4999. There are also 19 emergency towers located at various sites on campus. They have phones, you pick them up, rings right to Campus Police. And if you don't have your cell phone or your cell phone died, get to one of those towers, you can pick up the phone and get a hold of us. So the non-emergency calls will go to those numbers I gave you, that 724-244-2192 or 830-4999. If you have an emergency, and we're going to talk about what a true emergency is. If you have an emergency, you're going to dial 911, right? So when you dial 911, Campus Police are going to be dispatched anyway. We get dispatched by Greensburg Dispatch Center. So we will be en route anyway. But we can also get the other emergency support personnel that we may need, fire, ambulance, depending on the nature of the emergency. So let's go on to what really is an emergency call, where you want to dial 911. You don't want to call that non-emergency number, right? That would be a medical emergency where you require an ambulance. A fire, smell of smoke, chemical leak, or natural gas. Any violent crime or other crime in progress, included but not limited to assaults, shots fired, vandalisms, thefts, assaults in progress, domestic disputes, fights, or any imminent threat to life and safety. So that's when you're going to dial 911, right? So the more common calls that we get are these non-emergency calls, and that's more likely what you're going to call us for. That's lockouts, escorts, reports of crimes that have already occurred, requests for additional patrols, suspicious persons or vehicles. If you have any public safety questions or concerns, any animal complaints, loud music, disorderly people, alcohol violations, verbal disputes, hazardous conditions. So the point to remember is that we're here for your safety, and we're available any time of the day or night. We're here to help. Anything that students may need Campus Police for that they also call for could be jumping a vehicle battery. That's a common one. This is Western Pennsylvania. People's batteries go dead. Vehicle lockouts, parking questions or complaints, shuttle questions or complaints, and we'll move on to shuttles after we get done with this. But if we don't know the answer, we'll direct you to the proper resource who can help you. So something that you all will want to sign up for, you can do it now after, of course, I'm done talking. However, you're going to want to sign up for the E2 Campus notification system, right? So it's a free text and email messaging system, and it notifies all students and employees when there is a major emergency, crisis situation, disaster, weather emergency, closing, or delay at Seton Hill. If you want to enroll in this service, you can do it by going to alerts.setonhill.edu, click sign up for new personal account, and fill in the blanks. Now that I told you all that, I'm going to tell you the easy way to do it. You can text the word Seton, S-E-T-O-N, to the number 79516, and that'll automatically get you enrolled. An additional person can be enrolled. So if you would like your mom or dad or spouse or family member or anyone else, that significant other that you would like to have enrolled, they can do the same. And if your number changes, you get a new cell phone, you need to update your information. So parking permits. So any student that is going to be bringing a vehicle to campus will need to obtain a parking permit. That's done through Griffin's Lair. So once you register your vehicle, the parking permit is usually picked up at the campus police department. again, 115 Administrative Annex, just off the Greensburg Room. And usually our pickup isn't available till the first week in August. We're working on some new opportunities to get those permits out to students sooner. However, I would suggest that as soon as you can, go on to Griffin's Lair. If you go down to the bottom of the page under campus services and you look at parking permits and you click on that, you just need to know your vehicle's make, model, color, and your your license plate number. That's all important information to have with you when you go to enter it, and you can sign up for the parking permit. But I would get that done as soon as possible. So parking permits have to be displayed in the vehicle at all times when your car's on campus. So if you drive your mom's car, your commuter maybe, and your car's in the shop and you need to drive a different car, you need to make sure that you have a parking permit displayed in the window of that vehicle. Very important. So you can park in designated areas only. And when you pick up your permit, we're going to give you specific instructions on where you're allowed to park. We'll point them out to them on the map for you guys so that there's no confusion. And you can always ask, and people make mistakes. But what we don't want you to do is park in a restricted area near a fire hydrant or in a fire lane, because that blocks people from getting here that may need to service the campus. Next slide. So parking tickets, if you do park in one of those areas I talked about, you could get a $100 fine. That's a lot of money. And those $100 fines are for fire lanes, blocking a drive area, blocking a fire hydrant. If you go into a handicapped parking area, that's a $100 fine for the first offense, $150 if you do it again. All the other violations of parking rules are $25. And if you don't pay your fines or you get repeated violations, you could end up getting your car booted, towed, or you could lose your parking privileges, all bad things. So we want to make sure we park legally when we come to campus. And there's also a process for appealing parking tickets. We don't just give them out and tell you you have no other option. So if we could move on to the next one. So the campus shuttle. The shuttle service is provided during the traditional fall and spring semesters when classes are in session. So we don't have a shuttle over the summer. We don't have a shuttle over holiday breaks. The shuttle schedule is posted on Griffin's Lair under Document Shuttle Schedule. And there's a shuttle schedule for weekdays and weekends. With the changing environment that we are all facing, we are still working on that schedule, and it's not loaded up for the fall semester yet, but as soon as finalizations are made, we'll get that loaded in so you guys can kind of plan ahead. First Student is our service provider for our shuttle, and they have taken numerous safety measures to include the drivers wearing masks, regular cleaning of the buses between routes, and all riders are required to wear a mask when you're riding the shuttle. So make sure you come prepared when you're running late for class. Have that mask with you.
I think with that, we have got through all of our slides. So as a reminder, any questions you have, please send them directly to me via the chat, and I will be sure to ask them for our presenters. And so we can turn that off here. And questions that I have so far, Tony, in regards to technology, you mentioned that we can register other devices. Where are we able to go to register those other devices that will access our network?
So yes, you can register your devices with our Solution Center. Any of those options I gave to you, the easiest one is emailing them your MAC address at support@setonhill.edu. And again, if you'd like to call them, if you go to help.setonhill.edu, all of our contact information is there. That's the easiest way to find all that.
One more question for you, Tony. So I received my MacBook last week, and I was never redirected to the place where I need to enter my asset ID. Where do I go on MyShoe to enter my asset ID?
So that should automatically be happening for you. If it's not happening, call our support center, our solution center, email them support@setonhill.edu. They'll point you to the right place and get you taken care of.
Microsoft Office was mentioned. How do we go about paying for or getting that program provided from the school?
Okay, so Microsoft Office is free. You can go to office.com, click sign in with your Seton Hill email address and password, and there's an option in the top right corner to download Microsoft Office. It's free.
All right. Any other questions that you have, please make sure to send them. I'm going to take a second here, and if you can, turn on your cameras. For anyone who's used to this time of our session, we'll take some group photos. We've definitely got a decent number of people here today with their cameras on, so we'll take more than one shot. And I'll let you know here. Everyone's getting set, flipping their camera, making sure their hair looks all good. Darren's got make sure his beard looks all good there too. So we'll go ahead and let me get set up here with our first photo. 3, 2, 1. And yeah, you don't know which photo you're in because I have multiple screens, but that's how it rolls. So we'll go with the second group. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Awesome smiling faces. And we are all done for photo time. You don't have to worry about that. I'll go back here and see if we got some new questions as we were doing that. Tony, can you talk about the MacBook ownership as it progresses for a student through Seton Hill, or perhaps if they transfer, or when that ownership officially transfers over?
So the ownership officially transfers over when you graduate. We have a sliding scale based on where you are in your education. So freshman, sophomore, what semester you are. If you want to buy your MacBook out, those plans are all available as well.
Other questions? Well, with that, what I'll do at this moment is I will, since we've exhausted at least our current questions that have come through the chat, I will let our presenters say adieu from this big Zoom room. They will be able to go off into their private Q&A rooms for you to be able to chat with for a few minutes after here. Students and families, stick around. I'll give you some more information, but our presenters will bow out for the moment. And I will go ahead and I will turn the slide deck back on. And they all leave me all by myself. And I will go to share screen and turn this on. And there we go. Okay, so hopefully you can see the slide deck again. So what's next? And so again, many of our presenters will be available. I will send, when we're done here, I'll send the link to the document back out in the chat. But if you RSVP to the event, you should have that in an email. They'll be in their private Q&A, different rooms for you for about 30 minutes to answer any individual questions you have. I know many families and students enjoyed being able to chat with them last time, so hopefully you get a chance. You also, because of that time frame, can hop around. If you want to go spend 5 minutes with Corey and 5 minutes with Darren, get all your questions answered, that's fine. If you have any technical difficulties, I will remain in this room. So if you have questions about virtual orientation, welcome weekend, anything else related, you can come back here. If you can't remember a link, I'll stay here and you can always ask me in the chat, or you can vocalize. Or if you have anything else you need and you can't remember who to get to, you can come back here. Oh, let me see if there's anything else. Nope. All right. Then, so other things that's next after today. So next week we have 4 more virtual orientation sessions. But most of our previous sessions have been recorded and uploaded to the Seton Hill University Student Affairs YouTube channel. MacBooks, if you have not already received them, will be arriving soon. Also note that our Seton Hill Solution Center has many YouTube videos that will help you set up your Mac. You can find the link on the Road to the Hill website. So most of the things you'll need for right now are from the roadtothehill.setonhill.edu website, but there is a link to our Solution Center YouTube channel, which has videos on helping you set up your Mac. Remember to go online to reserve your parking pass. Parking pass, parking permit, we sort of use those terms interchangeably. but a parking pass is a parking permit. You can go onto My Shoe at the bottom to reserve your parking pass. As we've mentioned, make sure you complete and submit your medical forms online. Make sure you submit all your transcripts. Submit that ID photo. And so if you haven't already gone through My Shoe to submit your ID photo so that we can have your ID card ready for you to pick up, please do so. It'll be very important that when you arrive to campus, you'll have your photo ID, because that is how you'll access the residence halls for resident students, be able to swipe in for the dining hall or anything else. So make sure to submit your photo for that, as well as continued information will come out, but about completing the COVID testing. And so more information will continue to follow, but make sure to complete that before you arrive to campus. So our upcoming virtual orientation session, it's sad to know that we only have 4 left, 14 are behind us. So Monday, we will have a campus highlight tour. We will not show the residence halls as that was a previous session, but we will have staff who already recorded some videos around campus and who will be in other strategic locations around campus. We won't necessarily be able to go into every room on campus since there are so many, but we will do our best to show you various highlights. I will also note that when you come here for Welcome Weekend, the 14th through the 16th, we will be able, through the orientation leaders, we'll be able to give you guided tours of your classrooms. When you bring your class schedule, we'll take you to your specific room. So know that that is an option available. Then for our families, we have 2 sessions called Letting Go. Our Vice President of Student Affairs leads those sessions. One is Tuesday at 7 o'clock. One is Wednesday at 3 p.m. Those sessions for our students, they're not available on Chime since they're meant for families. So you can go to the Road to the Hill website to sign up to attend those, and I will email you a link for the Letting Go for Family session on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then Wednesday at 6 p.m. is our last for students, Acing Your Academics. Great information there, much more in-depth, detailed information with multiple presenters about things there. As I mentioned, subscribe to the Seton Hill University Student Affairs YouTube channel so you can get notified every time that we post a new video. This session is being recorded, so we will post that later on. For all other updates, go to roadtothehill.setonhill.edu. And with that, I will turn off the share here. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to stick around and ask me those questions. Otherwise, you can go off to the various Zoom rooms, and if you give me a second here, I will send a link to the chat as well. I will also turn off the recording.